Hey everybody, I want to share the latest status of my plugin Trophic Herds, which gives realistic animal... Hey, what are you guys doing in my garden? Scram. Get out of here. Look at this. What these pigs have destroyed my crops. They came in here, they eat a bunch of stuff, they browse, and they're not good. Like, get out of here. Scram, you ding-dongs. So you may notice that the animals are afraid of people. They're also afraid of some mobs, and we'll get into that here in a second. But even without hitting them, they flee from me, right? Look at all these sheep cluster around in a herd. Let's give them a zombie. And as soon as they realize the zombie's there, they just scatter. All right. So that's some basic herd behavior. Fast forward. Let's see if we can find some other animals. We got some chickens. We got some cows. We got some bunnies. We got some chickens. Okay, great. In the evening, they spread out during the day, right? Their herd sort of allows them to wander and graze. But as evening comes along, they start to gather into a tighter packed herd. They stop fleeing from zombies or players or whatever. And instead they start pulling in for a much closer, tighter herd, right? Which is more natural animal behavior. They're going to protect themselves by clustering up. These chickens are taking their sweet time, so maybe let's fast forward and look at the bunnies. You can see they're pretty tightly clustered, right? And one just died of old age. That will happen as well, right? Their populations, they reproduce on their own. You cannot breed them any longer, but they also manage their own life cycles. Like, they're born, they die, and it does it balanced with the server so as not to overpopulate the server. They sort of maintain themselves. Here we have another flock of chickens. We've got a herd of cows clustering on the hillside again, tightly packed at night for protection. They don't flee. They stop doing grazing and other activities at night. Our chickens now have more closely clustered. Our bunnies are still tightly clustered together. Let's bring it in the dawn. And as the sun rises, we'll see some of this behavior start to go back to their sort of casual daytime. I'm in spectator mode here, so I'm not going to spook the animals and cause them to run. But let's give them some of that daylight and watch the chickens, starting to react to the sun, starting to wake up. Giving the animals a proper day and night cycle where their behavior changes at the time is another way that this plugin is less anthropocentric and more focused on the animals having their own lives, having their own goals and desires. First bunny is awake, other bunnies sort of waking up, ready to hop around and start their little bunny day. Same thing with the chickens. They're starting to spread out. So a couple of other things about this plugin. If these animals are fenced in and they don't have access to clean water, they will not reproduce. If they don't have access to grass, they'll start to die, actually. So if you took cows and you shove them in a tiny pen with no sunlight, no water, they would eventually die of old age. Here we have a zombie. Going to show you again. Once the cows notice the zombies there, they're going to beat it. There's some chickens up on the top of the hill. They're going to take off running too as soon as they see the zombie. Yeah, they're out of there. So they will reproduce in the wild on their own when they have sufficient space and access to water. If you pen them in or otherwise mistreat them, they will not be able to reproduce. They will not be able to live, really. So that's the plugin. That's the current status. Thank you so much for checking this out.